Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign lawyer, Michael Sussmann, was acquitted Tuesday of lying to the FBI when he presented information about Donald Trump and Russia before that year's election. This was based on the charge that he lied when he allegedly denied he was acting on behalf of any client in alerting the FBI to claims that a secret server linked to Trump and a Moscow bank, and this is according to Politico. The verdict, which was in the first trial of special counsel John Durham's investigation, is a defeat for Durham and his prosecutors, who have spent 3 years looking for wrongdoing in the Trump-Russia probe. AP News says this outcome is likely to hasten questions about the purpose of the inquiry and its cost to taxpayers, particularly because 3 criminal cases Durham has brought so far have not established any form of conspiracy to frame Trump or hurt his candidacy for president.
So I know this has been causing a lot of consternation on the internet. Kim, for people who haven't been following this story super closely, what is the posture here? Is the issue that, Sussmann did not lie, or that the lie didn't have any long-term effects? Why was he acquitted here?
Yeah, so first I think we have to just kind of understand what this story is, because a lot of people, it's tough following it if you haven't been all of these years, right? But Michael Sussmann was a lawyer for Hillary Clinton. And really, the whole point of the Durham investigation, to understand the entire investigation, because Sussmann's just a part of it, is to figure out where the entire whole Trump being connected to, him being a Putin puppet, a Moscow puppet, where that whole entire allegation came from. And was there some sinister wrongdoing that then led to this entire, the country up in arms for years and investigations and lots of tax dollars going towards it, finding some connection that Trump was somehow for sure being controlled by, that he was somehow beholden to Russia in some way, right? So this was the first trial in that investigation. And so Sussmann, being one of Hillary Clinton's lawyers, what they charged him with was lying to the FBI. So they said that he lied to the FBI when he didn't disclose that he was working as a lawyer for Hillary Clinton. And that when he gave information saying, hey, there's some servers and they're connected from Trump to this Alpha Bank in Moscow, like this is the problem, that he didn't say, oh, by the way, I'm working for the opposing political party, candidate.
And in fact, in this text that's been going around, he says, I'm not texting you on behalf of any client. Like he specifically says, I'm kind of texting as a free agent.
Right, but insinuating that he is actually a lawyer for that client, right? So the issue is when they charged him with lying to the FBI, they had to do 2 things in order to get him to a guilty verdict. And that would be prove he lied knowingly, so he lied, didn't just say something and then they secondly had to prove on top of that it actually mattered, that his lie made a difference in the outcome of whatever it was, like that it was the first in the dominoes. And they couldn't prove either of those things really in court. The text message, I don't even know if that was presented, or if it was, I know the jury wasn't allowed to rely on it because the text wasn't actually discovered until later on after the indictment was already made against Sussmann. So they had to go based on just testimony from the person he had the conversation with, and that was flimsy and kind of changing. So that part of it was a little bit flimsy. And then the second part about it, what really got them, was the fact that the FBI, when they did this trial, it turned out that the FBI knew Sussmann was already working for Hillary Clinton. And with them knowing this, it didn't matter. It didn't change their behavior. They still wanted to pursue this investigation. They found that the FBI knew that it was flimsy evidence, that it wasn't real, but they decided to go forward with it anyway. So it really shows that the FBI there's a problem within the FBI. But because the FBI was going forward with this investigation anyway, no matter what they knew about Sussmann, it showed that whether or not Sussmann lied, it didn't matter. The dominoes had already fallen.
Yeah, so they investigated that link that Sussmann pointed to, found that there was nothing there, but then still continued with the broader investigation.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Donald Trump and alleged leaks to Russia.
So if you're going to lie, and like Michael Sussmann lied, allegedly lied, I suppose, then there has to be a consequence to that lie. You don't just get charged and get thrown in prison for telling a lie. The lie has to actually have done something bad. And they're basically saying in this trial, his lie didn't do anything bad. The bad thing was already happening, apparently with the FBI. So it sounds like the FBI needs to be investigated. What's interesting is this case was they were saying, oh, he lied to the FBI. And then it turns out, well, the FBI was actually the reason why he got acquitted was because it turned out the FBI was already doing dirty things.
And, for folks who are already inclined to be very frustrated with the Russia investigation, whether because you're a conservative who feels like Trump was unfairly maligned, whether you're a Bernie-crat who also got caught up in all of the Russia-phobia during 2016 and felt like all of the Russia stuff was a pretext for Hillary not to deal with some of the legitimate concerns about her candidacy and her failure to take accountability. This really does not much of anything in terms of your substantive thoughts and feelings about whether the investigation was politically motivated.
Well, and then the question, I think, to add on to this is like, look, we wasted a lot of money, taxpayer dollars, on an investigation into Trump-Russia connections. Are we wasting money again, going through with an investigation, looking for the sinister plot that started that investigation? So, we're looking for, okay, well, who did this? Who wasted our dollars? Who wasted our time? And we're wasting dollars and we're wasting time trying to find the whodunit.
Yeah.
So, are we going to even find those people? If it is the FBI that did it, are we going to, we have to then ask questions of how fruitful will this investigation and any sort of charges be in this situation? I don't know. Are we just wasting more money? But, you have to go after wrongdoing. I mean, that's a lot of times people are found not guilty and they did it, but you got to do it, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe this will be the end of it, but we all know that's not the case. Russia will continue to loom large for multiple reasons in our political rear view for a long, long time. But we have another show for you tomorrow with new topics. We will have tomorrow on Rising Rebecca Azor and Emily Jashinsky here with us to weigh in on the news of the day. And we'll discuss more about the new right movement coming out against proxy war and NATO expansionism in Ukraine with James Antle.
All right. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you guys never miss an episode. And be sure to check out our podcast. We're available everywhere you want to listen to us on the go. So thank you so much for that. And thank you guys so much for being here. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.